episode of What If Initial D was in the US and another 88 Monte Carlo, but this time as Iketani's S13 Sylvia. Yeah, pretty much reasoning for choosing this car is the shape of it. Boxy, very square, and it's easy to two-tone it. So while we get into this, three sort of ground rules that I had for this car, for not this car, but for this whole series. Well, I guess including this car because it's part of the series. 1, performance class had to be mid S1. 2, no conversions or like engine swaps or anything unless explicitly stated in the show, or if the cars with the stock engines couldn't hit that S1 or they were too slow and they couldn't keep up with the other cars, this being one of them. So we did have an engine swap to Monte Carlo because the stock engine only ended up like A class or B class or something like that, and it couldn't keep up with all the other cars. And the third is that all the cars have to be from American manufacturers. By that I mean as in like a manufacturer, not an American model, because certain cars on here, a couple of Fords for the series, are technically made by Ford, which is an American manufacturer, but they weren't offered in the US. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by, I'm gonna show you guys how to get this car looking the way it does, then I'm gonna give you guys the build and tune, and we are off to the mountain pass. Let's get into it. So starting with the color, it's a custom color. Same color I used when I did the video for the S13. Same color I did when we did the modern versions of the Initial D cars. So what you want to do is go to special colors, go down until you find this green one, and you want to hit the dual color fine tune button. Excuse me. For the low light you want 0.42, and then the for the hue, that is. Then the saturation you want 0.3 and the brightness 1. For the highlight, the hue you want 0.42, saturation 0.15, and the brightness 1.0. That'll get you this mint green color. In the wheels, special colors, you want to scroll down until you get to the aluminum polished. And of course tint the windows black. For the rest of this you want to go to vinyls and decals. Get a square, and you're going to want to paint it like one of these grays. Looks like I got that one in the middle. I'm going to make this color just for visibility purposes. Pretty much I followed kind of like the stock two-tone that these cars had from the manufacturer. Pretty much get that. Then you want to drop the height of it, and of course change the color. I'm going to do white for visibility purposes, and you basically want to rest it on top of the lower one, but you don't want to exceed this body line here, this molding, because that's kind of where the factory two-tone is on the Monte Carlo. So once you do that all around, I mean like around the whole car, both sides, front and back. I'm gonna go ahead and get a Speedstars decal, and you can find one by searching my username, which, don't judge me, I was like 8 years old, 7 years old when I made this account, and too much of a cheap ass to change the username. So I do have one on here. Maybe it's got more layers. Either that or I didn't see it. Where are you? I know that I made this decal. See how many layers is this? 107 to 180. Did I not? Could have swore that I published it. Let me see. I know that this is my decal and that it's on here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I have it shared. 174 layers, so it should be here some. Oh, I'm an idiot. So the share code for this decal is 143323691. Nice. One more time, 143323691. Pretty much you want this. You obviously want to change the color to black, and I just kind of have it here behind the wheel on this rear 3/4 on both sides of the car, and then once on the roof just above the passenger side headlight. And of course, if you don't want to go through the effort of making that design, I have this published, or at least I should. I don't, but I do now. And I'll get you guys the share code for the design right now. Or you can always just search username and then current car, if you're in the car, that is. So the share code for this livery is 784141661. More time, 784141661. I also have these liveries, which are really cool. Disconnected due to inactivity. No way. Alright, now for the build. Beginning with conversions, 6.2 liter V8, like I said earlier, stock engine, couldn't really keep up. It's too slow, couldn't get S1 class, whatnot. 6.2 V8 conversion, engines, why did I say engine swap? The drivetrain, leave it stock, rear wheel drive, stock naturally aspirated. Moving on to aero, should be stock all around. If you want to, you could take the little spoiler off, but I think it looks weird without it, so I opted to leave that on, and stock hood. Moving on over to the tires, you want the semi-slick race tire compound. You can do white letter tires, red lines, whatever you want to do. Your call, as long as it's a semi-slick compound. Two 15mm front tires. For the rear, you want the 265s. The rim size, stock 15s, front and back. For the wheels, the ones I chose are in the Specialized rim style, I believe. Yes, they are. They're the Whole Shot wheels, Whole Star. For the track width, the front, you kind of want the smallest upgrade, the narrowest upgrade you could do. And for the rear, you want the widest one you can put on. Moving on to the drivetrain, you want the race clutch, the race transmission, race driveline, drift differential, race brakes, race suspension, race front anti-roll bars, race rear anti-roll bars, no roll cage, and race weight reduction. Moving on to the engine, you want the race intake, race manifold, race fuel system, race cams, race exhaust, race ignition, race valves, race engine block, race pistons, race flywheel, and finally race oil and cooling. Now we go to the tune. For the tire pressure, you want 24 psi in the front, 27 in the rear. Gearing, 2.20 final drive, the rest is stock. Alignment, you want negative 0.8 in the front for camber and negative 0.4 in the rear for camber. In the toe, you want positive 1.8 outward in the front, negative 0.8 inward for the rear. For the front caster angle, you want 4. Anti-roll bars, front 34.2 and rear 18. Springs, 625.1 in the front, 420.3 in the rear. Ride height of is 8.0 in the front, 7.8 in the rear. Damping, for the rebound, you want 6.9 in the front, then for the rear, you want 6.1. For the bump, you want 4.7 in the front, 1.5 in the rear. Aero, leave it stock, which honestly you shouldn't have it. Braking, 55% balance towards the front, 72% pressure. Finally, the differential, 70% acceleration, 24% deceleration. Now let's take it on over to the mountain pass. So what we're going to do, we're going to take it on over to the mountain pass, go from this point all the way to the bottom. And a few things that I want to mention before we get going is the first, that this isn't really a drift car, it just kind of has the capability to drift. So the drift score is not going to be that high, so pretty much just ignore that. And the second thing is, this part of the video is basically just to show you guys how it drives. Third thing, I haven't driven this car in like a month and a half since I built it, so probably not going to be my best driving performance here. Without further ado, let's get going. Hang the inside here. Now I'm talking to myself, which is kind of weird, but I guess I've been doing that the whole time I've been recording. So we're not going to get too deep into the weeds on that subject. So one thing I do want to mention is that this car does drive differently than the Impact Blue car that we did in the previous video. It's tuned slightly different to be a little more drifty, brake traction a little bit easier than that one, despite both being 88 Monte Carlos. So albeit the tunes are similar, they are different. Ripping the Shelby Daytona. Slide, a little brake, and then we just hang the inside, and I'm talking to myself again. Okay, Yeah. We got here Cadillac and a BMW. Just weaved through those cars perfectly. And without further ado, let's do some donuts. That's how we end off all the videos around here. I hate doing them right here because it's a little bit narrow. Yeah. Oh, they're over there doing a freaking sideshow. Yeah, I'm not gonna get in on that. I'm very much against those. I'll do my donuts over here. Now with all that being said and done, thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you in the next video, and that is all from me today.